Game started.
Oh, Goliath, one of my frequent opponents here. Okay, yeah, let's try knight f6 again. Let's go with a Grenfell this time. Oh, I did that wrong. I meant to play, I have to play d5 on the previous move if I want the Grenfell. I don't have time to put the bishop there. So anyway, so this is a King's Indian defense. not one I play all that often. Well, let's see if I can play it. Okay, so bishop there. It's castle. Castling before pushing the pawn forward so I can, if he takes here, I have the pawn, I mean the knight, the rook. The rook can recapture the queen if he tries to trade here. So he's gone with a blocked center. Yeah, I'm not playing this correctly, I'm sure. I think knight to c6 to provoke the push, and the knight to e7 is a more normal way to play that. Okay, now he's played a bit of an unusual way too, though. The knight normally comes out to f3. So what does this all mean? He's got this overprotected. That's what it means. So my idea of bringing the knight to c5 to attack this pawn, it's just really well defended, so it's not happening. I can try playing in a different way, but this pawn is loose at the moment. I was going to say, maybe it's not under attack, so maybe it's okay. He could take on passant and give me some ugly doubled pawns over here. But he doesn't, so he leaves it blocked up. So now I can play for a pawn break over here on the queen side or on the king side. But let's leave the king side alone and play on the queen side. A bit of an unusual strategy in the King's Indian. And he's stopping that. Okay, so if I play b4 anyway, do I get any kind of b5 anyway? Do I get any kind of compensation? He takes, I take, he takes. And he's got these doubled pawns. Let's see, can he take with a piece though? I go here, he takes, I take, and he takes with a knight. And then he has a backwards pawn, but not doubled pawns. And I don't have anything there. Okay, I'm playing b6, so at least if he pushes on to a5, I can think about playing b5. It might not be effective. So this is kind of closed down over here. This is maybe a bad, the King's Indian gone bad. Okay, I'm going to lift up this rook, maybe bring it over to the king side. I have to try and reorganize my pieces somehow, and I don't have a lot of space. Maybe h6, king h7. I didn't want his bishop showing up here on g5, pinning that knight. That would have been even more awkward for me. H7. So I've got this double protected, so even if his queen and his bishop line up on it, it's defended. Okay, so he goes after the opening of the queen side, which is interesting because I played some moves there on the queen side to slow that down a bit. So he's looking at the b6 pawn here, which has got, it's defended by 3 pieces at the moment, but I mean the queen doesn't necessarily want to stay there. How about knight to c5? And if he trades it off, my rook is defended at the moment, and I'm hitting his bishop. So if he takes my knight, the bishop defends my rook here. That's a kind of a key point. So I can take back with the b pawn. So he just moves the bishop away. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces on this e-pawn here, and he's got 3 defenders, so that's still well defended. If I place my bishop on d7 there and then play a5 to chase the rook back, maybe that's a plan, but I have to protect the rook in the meantime, because bishop to d7 would leave that undefended. So let's see. If I play bishop d7 now and he takes my knight, I can take back with the queen. I think that's okay. And if he doesn't, I can bring the rook over here to b8. Or I can play a5 like I planned. He can also play a5. This is complicated over here. He switches to the other side. So that's interesting. That undermines my knight, I guess. But if I take, he can push on and get pressure on the e-pawn here. Interesting. So how about if I kick his rook back? I guess the rook goes to b2. Now I can defend my rook, which would unpin this pawn. If he takes here, I could take back. I need to move this knight out of the way, maybe, to give the... yeah, I need 2 moves. I need rook here and knight here to kind of get things organized. If I do knight to e8 immediately, it blocks this rook in over on the king side. This is still protected on e4. That's too bad. This is attacked twice, but it's defended twice by the queen and the knight. This knight is defending 2 different things, and so is the queen, but I can't seem to find a way to exploit that overloading. Okay, so maybe just taking. He takes with the bishop, and then what? And then I bring a rook over here. I bring a rook to the open e-file and get a 3rd piece attacking e4 here. And at the moment, this rook is adequately protected, so knight and the queen are both protecting it. So this pawn is not pinned. Let's see. Has he given up the defense of this guy? No, this is still defended. That's defended. He's got 4 guys on this guy now. He keeps finding new defenders. See, if I kick this bishop back, it'll just go to a better square, won't it? Can I do something with my light squared bishop? Okay, maybe like this. I kick this guy back. And then I can put my rook on the e5 square. Oh, he's got a tactic here. Yeah, that was played a little too quickly. That opened up this diagonal from his queen to my king. So he can push this pawn forward. Let's see, can I block? I can block with the bishop here, but he can just take it. So that wins a piece. That wins a piece. Wow, he must have gotten interrupted there. Anyway, yeah, he missed that idea of playing. He missed that idea of playing e5. Let's see. So my idea was to put a rook on e5, and well, we'll see. Ah, yeah, he just goes there with the bishop. Very logical. Well, he was winning anyway. What can I do here? Get the knight out of the way, maybe. Take back with the bishop and hope this is one of those positions where the rook is a good piece. I mean, the bishop is a good piece. At least I blockaded against the e5 pawn push. Okay, so now he's going after some of my weak pawns, but that's defended. That's defended. And he can't challenge this knight. And I have a check here. So if I place my king to, well, he can defend it. I was going to say I could put more pressure on that knight. Maybe start with this move. See how he wants to defend. Let's see, he can drop a knight into b5. And I guess I'll be forced to take something off at that point. So now, what's going on here? He's leaving off the pressure a little bit here, letting off the pressure on b6 there. Okay, I was going to come forward with the knight, try and get my queen to e8 here, and take a look. Okay, so he's just totally reorganizing. So the idea with queen e8 is to take a look at this a pawn, and yeah, that stops some of this stuff with the a pawn. So I have to get rid of that knight that was attacking. It was attacking my d pawn here, which is pretty critical. Now I need to unpin with the queen here as well. So queen here, I guess. Otherwise he could just grab that pawn and my bishop was pinned. But now this d pawn is defended. I'm still down the exchange. And what's the material balance? I have an extra knight. We have opposite colored bishops, and he has an extra rook. The position is still kind of closed here, so maybe there's still hope. But this knight looks pretty solid here. That looks like a pretty good piece. And my knights don't seem to... so he just sacks back the exchange. Maybe a good practical choice. Gives him this advanced pawn. I get this advanced pawn too. He was also attacking my rook there. And so he's no, he's not letting that pawn go. He's got it defended. This looks like a good square for the knight, though, somehow. Maybe I can activate my queen, get it on this diagonal, and make threats against his king. Huh? How do I get there? Queen to c8 to c5, maybe? Well, I was lucky that he got interrupted there, whatever happened, because he was clearly winning when he came back to the game. Maybe he was a little distracted or something. But now he's low on time. He's attacking the knight. He's low on time, and he hasn't got as much going on as he had before. Okay, this is pinned, but I'm not. I don't want that. I don't want to let that pawn move, so I'm going to try and keep that knight there. He's going after that knight, but now I have time for the check.
Check.
And let's see, I can retreat this knight. check here. Is that any good? King just goes here. Let me just bring the knight back to f4. It looks like a good square. Okay, let's put the rook in front of this pawn so that's securely blockaded too. Now there's a funny move here. There's knight to e or d5 here, hitting the queen. Where does the knight go from there? Knight to d5, hitting the queen. Queen moves. Knight could go to this square. Well, let's try it anyway. Maybe it'll get some kind of reaction. Oh, his queen's defended. Aha. That was not a good idea. That was not a good idea. Okay, so I have this passed pawn.
Check.
My idea is to take this pawn over here to undermine his knight. His idea is to defend. I can work that pawn forward. Let's see. Yeah, this is one of those positions where I have some sort of minimal compensation for the pawn. I can defend the pawn with the knight here. I can play check here to the king. Now he can take with the rook and the pawn. Pawn first and then rook. So I can't distract the king away from defense of the bishop. I can't defend from over here, so let's try over here. And then what? Then what? Then I can go after the knight. No, the knight is protecting the bishop. I mean, that square that attacks the bishop. Where can I go? Here, here. Just back where I came from. Can grab this pawn maybe. He defends it. He's just playing too well here. Oh my. Attack that rook. Now I can grab this pawn. And that's not all that useful, is it?
Black forfeits on time.
Okay, well, I was losing anyway. I still had these two pawns out
Incoming
here, but that would not be sufficient. Anyway, I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.